All right, should hear me now at this point, and welcome to the webinar, everybody. All right, the what we'll go through today is the order flow in Bookmap, and we'll just look at the live market. There's not a lot going on today. It's the end of the year, so last day of trading. We'll see, but we have other agenda to go through, different things. I want to show you guys 7.5 alpha version of Bookmap and some other things. And we're here for the live order flow. We'll see what we get. All right. General disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. The risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's go through, let's take a quick look here at the order flow. And see what's going on. Looks like a nice breakout here. Looks like a beautiful flag pattern here. Rob, look at this. Look at this. Looking for the breakout. There it goes. Okay, so we're up to here already. Okay, 35, more or less. Yeah, we'll probably get a bit of a pause here at 35, but I'm still looking. This is looking good. I'm still looking for 36, 37 here. Okay, here's your flag pattern right in front of us, guys. All right, so good to capture that at the open here, and looking for momentum still. Right, so we've already traded at 35, looking for 36, looking for 37. Right, so look at the order book here, guys. This is really good stuff to see right off the bat, and that's why we go through the live analysis in here. We'll take a quick debrief of this as well here. Just still looking for the continuation here. No reason not to, right? Still looking good here. So we're going to get pullbacks, okay? So we might get a pullback even, as deep as 33.5 here, right? But now again, this is not a trade recommendation. We're going through our setup in here. Here's a bit of a pullback right now. Now, what we're looking for, okay, and we can even look at some technical analysis in here. Okay, is maybe where is there going to be some support? Okay, well, you can see them coming into the book here, right? Now, and we can also look in some of these little pockets in here. Now, again, we're looking for our buyers up here. Do we get our buyers? Do they start to curl in up here? Right? So let's take a look. Draw this up. Okay, we're looking for our green dots up in here. Okay, see how it has not auctioned off up here yet very much in terms of buyers. Okay, so buyers we're not ready yet. Not ready yet. Okay, this is our pullback right now. It can still pull back more. Okay, so we're not ready yet for reloading on this one here. Okay, so we need to get our buyers back up here. Okay, this is part of the plan. Now see, look at the order book helping us. Look at the buyers. Okay, a little bit more, and we should get the breakout here. There they are. Let's see them build here at 34 3/4, and then we should get the move up. Come on, buyers. There's a little bit more. Bit more. Look at the order book as well. Okay, some selling just came in, but it auctioned up here now. It didn't before. Okay, so we're looking for a retest back up here, looking for our buyers again, and now our breakout. Okay, the book is stacked here a little bit. You can see some on the offer in here. There's a larger player here, kind of holding the book down, or on the offer. Okay, and the bid is there's a little bit of a kind of leeway in here for it to come back down. See the larger players moving the book like this. Okay, so this is that context we talk about. Okay, it auctioned up here. That's good. We're still looking for a retest back up here and then the breakout. All right, so it didn't happen on this round. Okay, so now here's our pullback. Okay, and let's see if we get our buyers come in now down here. If we don't, okay, this is going to fail. It's going to fail hard. Okay, yeah, here we go. It's actually failing. Well, it could still bounce off a point of control here. Okay, this is Rob's setup actually, and this is the last gasp though here, and a lot of times we'll just see sellers continue on through this area here. Anyway, we'll go through this again and why we were still looking for 36, 37. Okay, and the order book looked good. There was on the bid, it looked great. We saw this in real time here, that once they started to kind of stack, we got our auction. Okay, first we didn't have it, then we started to get our auction. Okay, and then we saw this book starting to stack. That's not really what we're looking for here. In real time, we started to see this book in here, these guys up in here. We want to see them pull that liquidity. We want to see them actually pull it here and add it down here maybe. Okay, that is the setup. And then we're looking for the continuation, right? So it started to auction up here, then the book kind of influenced things here. Okay, now we traded back down to the kind of last gasp here, or last area where we can still find some support, and then a buyer's got to show up now. Okay, and yet again, and then come back up here and get our breakout. Right, so let's see. This is a pretty big sell-off here. You can see the stop run. Okay, you see the stop run to the upside. You see the stop run to the downside. Right. So anyway, tricky one here. We had the order book on the bid. That's good. They were pulling a little bit in the area we wanted to see it, and they were adding in here. Even though we got the auction starting to auction off up here with the buyers, then the sellers came in. Right, it was really the order book in here that gave us that insight and that clue. All right, so a little tricky on that one, but anyway, the flag pattern or this continuation pattern, we still had the we have the components here. We see the strong move at 9:30, the pullback in here, and then it's starting to, you can see it starting to mount in here, the buyers breakout, and then looking for the continuation. Now this one, it didn't do it. It failed halfway through. You can manage your risk on these though. Okay, don't get, either if you didn't take profit on here, and maybe you took a small loss. If you got involved in something like this, you would take a small loss, or you would be moving your stop to break even after this started to break out, because, and there's reasons for that. You can aggressively manage this setup in here. The reason being is it should work now. If it doesn't, something is wrong. Right? It's a momentum trade. That's the beauty of a momentum trade. You're looking for the strong move, a pullback followed by a strong move. Okay, if it doesn't do it, you're out. You look for the next one. Right. So I hope that helps, guys, and you guys can understand what to look for and when it is working and when it starts to not work, and then how to manage it. Right. So anyway, we'll go over it again and again and again. Right now, it's broken here. It's come back down to the bottom of this range in here. Who knows what it's going to do? But this pattern is broken. Okay, it's actually broken here at this point. A full retracement back to the top, and it continued on lower. We've just seen a lot of times. This is something that Rob has looked at a lot. He looks for, or he has looked for. I don't know if you still do this, Rob, or not. I don't really like the setup, to be honest. It's the last kind of area in here. The point of control is here. And then you look for the last place for support here. Okay, you did get a little bit of a bounce, and then you see that they traded through it. Okay, the sellers took it down. Not enough buyers at this point to come back up here. Right, this is why I don't like this pattern so much. Okay, a lot of times it works though, and a lot of times what you see is this kind of move up through. It does exactly this kind of like a double top, trades back down here, and then what you'll get is kind of a double bottom, and then you'll get this move back up here, pull back, and then continuation, something like that. Okay, that's very, very typical. Anyway, it didn't do that at all. As you guys can see, it's come down into bottom of these ranges in here. Anyway, GH has a question here. So all the orders for futures options must go through and be shown in Bookmap. Well, not options, but everything from the CME. Yeah, absolutely. It's being shown in here. Okay, every single transaction, every single change in the order book is shown. Okay, let me re-preface this or restate this from the data provider. Okay, Bookmap is the instrument here. The data is coming from Rhythmic, right? We like Rhythmic data. We think it's very accurate. And look what you can do, for example. Note the transactions down here. See the buyers coming in now? And then they should trade it up to here, 31 or 32 here, and on up even further, I think. Let's see if they can do that. But look at these transactions in here. Okay, see these clusters of volume. We can zoom in, and we see that there's a couple trades in there. See, now we're down at microsecond level. Okay, these are millions of seconds. Okay, now that we're at nanosecond level. Okay, we're looking at billions of seconds here in the timeline. Okay, see the timeline here. Okay, this was one transaction for 5 lots. Okay, it's all in here. Now, I'll show you how this is so different than other products out there. Is you will see in between those transactions, see over here, this order book change here. Okay, yeah, we kind of lost it a little bit here now in the heat map, but there was an order book change in here. It's better here. Here's the last transaction. Okay, next transaction took place here. There's a price change of 1 tick, and the order book updated in between it. All right, you can even see an update in here as well. This kind of grayish heat map in here. In fact, we can brighten it up a bit. There we go. See the change there, and also a change here, right? So this is updated regardless of the transactions. This is not tick data. This is just pure data coming in. All right, big distinction between that and others. All right, hope that answers your question. Well, hidden orders is something else. Hidden orders would be your icebergs. Okay. Well, for futures data, it is Rhythmic data. We can look at stocks. It's DXFeed data. This is a lot more complex data. It's not as centralized as the CME. You have your different electronic networks, ECNs, that you've got your your NASDAQ, your ARCA, your EDGX, whatever it might be. Okay, so these are different data providers or different streams of data. Okay, so you can also just get NASDAQ data, for example, if you want, right? So there's lots of different players, so it's very different. It's a lot more complex. You can also get the national best bid and offer. It will not show you depth data, but beyond the level 1 though. Okay, so this depth data in here that I'm looking at here is from both. It's a combination of 2 different ECNs of NASDAQ and EDGX, okay, from DXFeed. All right, that's very different than futures. In futures here, it's just CME data. very centralized. Hey guys, we're still looking for those buyers to come in here. We traded down to this liquidity. It looks pretty good now. And this is a mini flag pattern in here, Rob. So we talked about lower time frames yesterday. Look at the book here. Look at our buyers here. They should get the pop, okay, into 32, and then let's see if they can get to 33. Okay. Now, what we want to understand, and this is going to be the next setup that we're going to go through, Rob, is a reversal. Okay, so we first need to get to 32, and it needs to break that structure here at 32, this high. The next one is up here, and the liquidity is already here in the book at 33. Right, so and then see them pulling that liquidity right now. All we need is some aggressors, and they can lift it up into 33. Okay, looking for the book to support it underneath here as well. And you see some gaming coming in here. So they pulled, now they're adding back in, and we found a bit of sellers. So maybe a little bit of back and forth right now. All right. Anyway, guys, I keep mentioning Robin here today. I wanted to go over the, well, he's part of the Bookmap Academy. He's also a moderator in the Discord room. What I wanted to cover was the event that we had yesterday. Okay, so this was part of the Bookmap Academy. Let me show you where you can find information about this. If you go to bookmap.com, you'll see the annual sale here. And I'll cover that in just a minute, but go to the More button here, and then go to Bookmap Academy here. Right? If you want to join the Academy, we just had a meeting yesterday. We coach and mentor some of your journalized trades. I can even show you where that is. If we go here to YouTube, there's a recording of it just underneath here. Okay, where is it? Oh, and let's go to lives here. And then here it is here, right? So you guys can watch this, about an hour long, hour and 8 minutes. Oh, you have to rewatch it, Stephen. Okay. Anyway, we are offering a special deal in here. That's what I want to cover. Okay, it's only for these Bookmap Academy traders. It's the same deal that you can get from bookmap.com. This end of year deal here. Okay, 30% off any annual subscription to Bookmap. The big distinction in here is that you can get the annual deal and then join the Bookmap Academy. Okay, join it first and use this link that I'm going to provide you here in the chat. Okay, so let's see. It looks like Dan put it in. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Dan. So use that link in YouTube, and what you will get is, as a Bookmap Academy member or current members, okay, to the Junior Academy, okay, that get Bookmap for the year, get the 30% off, and then continue to come to the Bookmap Academy meetings and partake in the Bookmap Academy or Junior Academy here, and then you're going to get your training and coaching for free. Okay, we'll go over your content, we'll give you feedback on it, build your trading journal, develop and discover new strategies. And the goal here is, it's kind of like think of it like a gym membership in here, that maybe you have your goal in 2024 to become a profitable trader, or maybe your goal is to meet a specific threshold of profit. Okay, well, get Bookmap for the year, come get coached in the Bookmap Junior Academy, and then what the deal here is that in the Bookmap Academy, if you do well in the Junior Academy, you will graduate from there and you will be then a member in the Bookmap Academy, and you can get Bookmap for free. Now, if you get that throughout the year, we will prorate the rest of your subscription value for Bookmap add-ons for free. Okay, well, it's not free, you paid for it, but basically you got Bookmap for free. Now you can get more. You get the add-ons like MBO bundle or whatever it is that you want, right? That's the deal in here from the Bookmap Academy. Okay, this is a great deal. You'll get Bookmap for the year. Get training as well, comes with it here. And then if you do well and you get Bookmap for free, we'll kick back the rest and prorate it for other add-ons. Right, so that's the deal. There's the link for you guys if you're interested in it. Yeah, take advantage of it. Right. So anyway, the Academy also we give you. We went through this presentation yesterday. You guys can see it. I'll put the link in there for you. But you get free add-ons also for testing. The Market Pulse, Trader Map Pro, and the checklists. In fact, there's a new update to the checklist that I need to take a look at. Anyway, just wanted to go through that deal for you guys, and still kind of waiting for this market to turn around. Look at this. Sellers is just back and forth in here. We did get up to that 32, and then that was it, though, right? So this is where it's still looking good to me, even better now for a breakout or a reversal in this small time frame and a retest back to 32.5, 33 liquidity up here. Here's why. Okay, we'll go over the I'll have content for you guys for the reversal soon. Okay, but look at the selling coming in here. Okay, so sellers in these areas in here, sellers in these areas in here. Now they're trading into high liquidity here. Now we're starting to find buyers. Okay, but we're still finding sellers. It's still back and forth here. We're still finding buyers though too. Look at the sellers here. Now we're finding our buyers. Now we should get this. Okay, looking for it. So we have buyers in here, and this is what it takes, and this is why reversals can be kind of tricky. There's this back and forth in here. Okay, so we're starting to look for that transition from sell side to buy side. Okay, so we're getting a bit of a pullback here right now, but looking for the move back up here. All right, it needs to break this. Now it's tested that 32 again. We need to break it now, and we need to break it on strong buy volume. All right, so anyway, looking for that. Now that's the scenario we are looking for. Okay, if we don't get that scenario, okay, which is very possible, let's suppose we have this scenario. This order book in here really lights up on the sell side. Okay, we start to see auctioning down here of some pretty big sellers. Then we're looking for the retest back down to the lows and maybe a break of the lows. Right, so this is the opposite scenario. Okay, now which one is playing out? Okay, to me it still looks like buy side. One thing that I don't like in here is there's still liquidity here at 32. And now it's starting to change. Now it's starting to shift and change. I see a little bit more on the bid here, and I see them starting to pull here. Now we're getting our buyers here, so we're looking for the breakout. Okay, it should. We look for the move up into 33 here. Okay, now we can also look at a measured move in here as well. Okay, so how big is this move in here? Right. Well, let's look for an equal move here. And then where might it go? Yeah, I mean 33, 33 and a half, maybe 34. Okay, look at the book, getting our buyers, just looking for them to step on the throttle here. Let's watch this here. Okay, we might get sellers, right? We get sellers. We would need to see the sellers down here though, at 30 and a half. Okay, then the breakdown. Okay, still pulling for the breakout. Looks pretty good here. Starting to curl back in. Okay, yeah. All right, buyers, you've got it. Sellers looking for them to get out of the way, pull that liquidity, looking for the buyers to now test up into these sellers up here. buyer's still on the bid. That's good. Now this is where we read the auction process in here. If they're on the bid, what's the reaction to that? Do we get aggressors on the buy side? So far, so good. So in this auctioning here again, now we just need to see it slip up, back up above into 33. You see it, the process, it takes a little while for it to kind of unfold, especially reversals. That's why they can be tricky. You know, we can look at these trend channels and look at the volume within it. For example, here, I mean, sell side, look at all of this here, right? And there's a little bit of buying in here like we noted, okay? But still sell side here, okay? But we noted this in here, right? And we noted this in here, and we can also see it here in the bars, okay? And a little bit more here. Now, you know, here come the sellers. They're trying to, you know, move this market the opposite way here. So we got maybe some buyers on the hook here. I'm not given up yet on these buyers here. Okay, we're looking for a trap though. Now, in terms of trade management, maybe you're out. Okay, because what we need to see is buyers back up above 31.5 now. Okay, take the small, you know, cut and get out of this. Okay, because we need to get buyers back up above. Right, so this, for example, that would have saved you. Right, so we're talking about some trade management within here, and in fact, we got to retest back to here. Okay, and we see, look at the selling pick up. So now we're actually looking for sellers, that second scenario here. So we got a small breakout in here. This is horrible price action. Small breakout in here. And then it went back into the range in here. And we see quite a bit of selling coming in now. Okay, so it's looking like this reversal is going to fail. Okay, so looking for sellers now here to press it down into this liquidity here at 28 3/4. Okay, so here they are. Now I'm looking for sellers, the opposite scenario, for them to drop it into 28 3/4. Okay, and then we should see a stop run of these guys buying up in here. Okay, so look, we're not something changed. The order flow changed in here. It was looking good for the reasons that we went through in here for this potential breakout. Okay, we see that it was starting to round. Structure was broken here. Okay, structure was broken up here as well, and here. Everything looking good. Okay, and we had this higher lows, higher highs, and then it failed. Okay, so we got out. Okay, and hypothetically here, this is all hypothetical. This is not a trade recommendation. Okay, we were looking for this to work, and then the trade management side would have been get out, and then get involved in the other side, okay? And then look for that move down to 28 3/4, and then yeah, maybe more here too. Okay, because if this doesn't work, this one should. Right, understood? I know it's tricky, and we all want it to work out, but this is what we saw in the order flow, and it was looking good here, and then it shifted and changed. Okay, still take advantage of it though, and go to the other side. Okay, we noted it in the volume, within the structure, and also the order flow within the structure. Okay, the limit sell orders up here and the limit buy orders in here. Okay, now, yeah, I would be taking some partial profit down here. Okay, stop it would be at break even, and then looking to see if I can get a runner out of this. Okay, where might it go? Well, down to low of the day here, the cash session, around this 27-ish area down here. All right, so this is a pretty good move. Whoa, look at that move. Okay, so there's a big stop run. All right, so I would take some profit on that one for sure. Yeah, someone just completely dumped and swept the order book here, as you guys can see. And you can see, we'll go through this maybe for those of you new in here. This is a nice order flow event in here, transaction. Okay, we can get into the details of really what happened there, and then why you'd want to take profit immediately on something like this. Okay, because it's a sweep. Someone dumped it. We're still sell side, or we're still looking for it to continue here, but after something like this, we may get buyers back up above the 28, and the market just handed us a nice little victory here. So reduce some risk, or get out, or look for the next opportunity. Okay, because one of the scenarios now is back up above here. Okay, what if we start to see buyers back up above here? Okay, after this big move here. Okay, we know that this move here is a big stop run. Okay, so that selling in here was kicked off by a larger player, and then there's a stop run. Okay, and those people getting stopped out is basically it's exiting the market. It's not the logic here is that they're not engaged in the market. We're not looking for them to have resistance here at this area. We're looking for actually buyers to break back up above it here, and then maybe trade back up into like 33 up here. Okay, which was our original target earlier. Okay, so that's why here, right? So it's kind of like empty orders in essence, if that makes sense. All right. Yeah, look at the bid again. Looks pretty good. And let's see if we can get buyers back in here again. Nothing yet. Let's clear these drawings. And let's go through some of the details in here for those of you maybe new to Bookmap. So this move in here, go through some details in here, and we'll turn on our stops and icebergs on chart. And actually, we're just going to show stops. Okay, so this is a great example. All right. And also it's a good example of not only just a stop run in here. It's also here, the red line here, the blue line here is iceberg transactions. Okay, hidden order, but transactions of those iceberg hidden orders from the CME, native CME hidden orders. And then the not the synthetic ones, right? The native to CME. And then here we have the stop run here. Okay, and we know the number here on the stop run is 415 transactions of stop orders. Okay, we know that. That's just fact. All right, now what about these transactions up in here? Okay, see how they swept the order book? They took all the liquidity at each price level and went down one more tick, one more tick, etc., etc., etc. This is one event in here. And we know that because look at the best bid and offer updating afterwards. Right? So someone came in here and hit the sell button. A larger player hit the sell button. There are stops within this whole area in here, and they are basically slipped. And they start to the stop orders transact after this larger player has his market sell has transacted. After his market sell has swept the book, taken all the liquidity, it has gotten filled, then any other orders that are in here start to transact. Okay, that are like the stop orders in here, like a stop loss order. And that's how you get slipped. Right, so we have the red line in here that shows you precisely when stops start to transact. It's right here at this 48.25 and 3/4, and then we start to see these transactions. And look how now this is a cascading stop run. Okay, these are all stops, and they swept this price level here, went to the next one, swept that, went down to this one here and swept that. So it went down from 1, 2, 3, 4 price levels here, a full point of nothing but stops for 415 stops transactions, right? And then the best bid and offer update. And then look at this interesting stuff in here, really interesting stuff. High liquidity comes in on the offer. Buyers take it on though and trade through it immediately. So someone saw the opportunity in here after this and tried to buy it right back up. They ran into a big roadblock here, but they had enough buying power to trade right through it, okay, and right back up above it. Right, so now let's see what happened to current price. Did we get our move back up above this, or are we back down here again? Okay, so here's what happened. Our scenario of potentially buyers breaking back up above here and then coming back up here didn't get the buyers. Okay, we're still in this whole sell zone in here. Okay, so and it's just kind of trickling back, down to the swing low here. Right, and that's what's unfolded here in this market. Yeah, at this point here, let's take a look here. Not seeing too much. Still looking sell side basically. No buyers here. Sellers are starting to auction here again, so looking for them to hit the bid. There they go. Okay, maybe they can hit further into this liquidity down here. Guys, let me get back to the question. Sorry, I've been kind of on a bit of a rant here. See what you have to say. There's some other things to consider in here as well. Like consider this is the end of the year. This is the last day of trading. So people are going to unwind maybe some pretty big, potentially unwind some positions, take some profits, etc. Mark to market, and maybe that's what we're starting to see here in some behavior. So it's been a great year. In fact, let's take a look here at the S&P on a much higher time frame. All-time highs, looks like. Is that right? Is that what you guys are seeing? I'm just looking at this on investing.com. Yeah, all-time highs. Okay, this was the high back in 2021. Is that what you get, Jack? What did you have for the all-time high here? Previous all-time high. Thanks, Jack. Really helping out. And Aloise, you guys are just awesome. Also, Rob. Depends on how it's adjusted. Yeah, that's true. All right, I'll let Jack answer your question. 41.50 is all-time high. Back adjusted is not all-time high. Okay. Okay, thanks, guys. Yeah, I guess I need to look at the index here. Let me try that. Yeah, I hate using this. Okay, here we go. US 500. Okay, this is the index. Okay, yeah, not there yet. Getting there. It is a monthly. Pretty close. Amazing. Anyway, all right. So, all right, guys. Well, we traded down to this liquidity down here now. The sellers did hit the bid into this higher liquidity here. Boy, this was quite the trap up here. We were really looking for this to work out. We noted when it didn't, though, and then we're still looking for it to work out, or we're looking for maybe that potential reversal in here, and it failed too, and we noted that, and then we're looking for the move lower on this one as well. Okay? That's why we go through the different scenarios. It's so important to go through it, and having a bias. I had a bias, well, a slight bias to the upside. Okay, but I also I covered the other scenario, and that helped me. If I go through the other scenario, then I can understand what that might look like and then take advantage of it. All right, so anyway, still hitting the bid. Looks like 48.20 is the next, 48.19 next area. A lot of iceberg buying as well on the way up here. Actually, I should take that back. It looks like there's a lot of iceberg buying. There is not really. It's like 500 or something. That's not a lot of icebergs. So this is, no, it's more like 800. Okay, this is negative 322 down here. Okay, so and we can see the move up here. So, you know, put it in context in here. And we can use the on chart again for icebergs. Show the icebergs here. Okay, so it's not a whole lot. This is the biggest one. Looks like in here, 300. Here's 190. But you know, they're accumulating, or maybe exiting. We don't know that. Okay, so we just know they're iceberg transactions. Native CME iceberg transactions. Okay, getting a bit of a bounce here on the buy side. And hitting the bid hard again, guys. I was just about to cover this. It's we want to look. We've covered this for a long time. I just didn't see anything in the order book here. That's why I didn't cover this. Look for these little clusters in here, these little pauses in here. Okay, like here. Okay, and we're looking for pullbacks into those areas and then continuation. There we go. Continued again. Okay, and again, looking for pullback and continuation here. Now that's a nice stop run as well. Big one, 384. Okay. Now here, again, our scenarios in here. Okay, we're still sell side and still, unless we get that scenario of these buyers back up above it. Okay, the book is starting to show something interesting. There's some buyers. Okay, now buyers, let's see them lift this really quickly then back up to our areas here. Probably here, 18 and a quarter or 19 and a half or so. Okay. All right, here come the buyers. Now look at our little clusters in here, and also transactions into high liquidity. Okay, this is what creates the market structure right here. Okay, these transactions and that liquidity here. Okay, so the first one we're looking for here, right? And then let's see if we can get more buyers and then trade to the next one up here. Okay, so the first one is just transacting now, and look, there's some liquidity there. Okay, so that would be a place to consider taking some partial profit. Okay, due to the market structure. Okay, still seeing buyers. Here's more liquidity on the bid here, so we're still finding buyers, and now we found some sellers. And let's see if now they can reach back up to this 19 though. These buyers get these guys kind of on the ropes a bit. and let's see if they can move it higher here. Okay, the bid, look at the bid is stacked there. And what's the reaction? Okay, all right, we got some buyers. It's pretty clear sailing if they can get up here now. And this is what we didn't have earlier. All right, so it's traded back to 19.5 already, transacted there. All right, let's look on the other side at some of these clusters in here as well, and some of the transactions on this move up. Okay, this is a little bit more microstructure. It's not really microstructure, but just smaller areas here of clusters of transactions in here. Okay, so I would looking for some selling in here after moving up here. Not seeing it. So maybe this will be support here. It's traded through it, looking for maybe a retest back down to it, support, and then maybe a move higher. Okay. Somewhere in here, pullback, and then continuation. Let's see. Okay, is the order book supporting it? Yeah, they're here. A little bit. Yikes. Guys, I'm using the new beta version here, or no, alpha version of Bookmap is 7.5. There's some new tools in here. You might have noted the crosshairs as well, and the drawing tools, if I hover over the drawing tools. So we can cover some of that stuff. So, but there might be some crashes in here. I just want to show you something in here. Like if I select or hover over this, note how it kind of outlines the area over here in price. Pretty nice. Also you see the especially if I go into trade mode here, the crosshairs will show that this is an active area here with a blue outline. All right, so we got kind of a flip here. We didn't get the move higher after trading through this, or we got up to here. We didn't get the bounce here. We got the opposite. It traded through it. Okay, so looking for now, and we see the sellers come in. Okay. So some good selling coming in. I'm looking for a retest back to here, though. Okay, so there's 19.5 or so. Okay, due to the market structure and due to this liquidity in here and this bounce here. Right. Okay, and then we're just looking for the move back here, and hopefully it's on lower volume. And then we can look for a continuation down into this liquidity at 15 or 16. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get it. Looks like they're just going to hit the bid right into it. All right, hitting the bid. little bit of a pullback. Some pretty good buy volume though. Sellers, a little bit of selling. And let's see it, sellers. Let's see you hit 15 here. Should be able to hit it. Or 16 and 15 and a half. Can stop runs, good morning, David, also be viewed through the volume pressure widget on Market Pulse? Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, you can assume that. You don't need to use Market Pulse for that. You know, you can just look at the transactions in these areas here. You know, what's indicative of a stop run? Like this kind of activity is indicative of it. And we don't always get it, but you're pretty sure this is going to be a stop run. Okay. Also here, you know, you're going to be pretty sure it's a stop run. Okay, so you don't need volume pressure widget for that. Okay, so look at this, guys. So we got down here, and then we're seeing this bid. It's kind of a tricky day. The bid is they totally shifted here when we found our buyers here. So our first test again is back up to this 19 and a half, and that's it to begin with. Maybe this also 20 and a half. See where they dropped it here, and there's liquidity there. All right, now if we're looking, if we see a lot of buyers coming in, all right, well, let's look at little pockets in here where we can look for pullbacks. Okay, one would be right in here. Okay. So and we see some liquidity coming in already. So this would be a pullback area in here. The bigger pullback would be way down here. And well, we didn't get the pullback either. Just buyers still coming in. Jack, thanks so much for answering all these questions. And currencies, why wouldn't, I mean, it depends on the markets that you like. I mean, it's like, why would anyone trade bonds? You know, they're like glacial moves a lot of times. Okay, so but you know, it's also, it's a fantastic market. The liquidity is just unbelievable. And it's also a little bit more truer. Instead of like seeing kind of finagling or, you know, spoofing type of activity type of stuff, you get a lot less of that. Bonds. We can jump over to CL and take a look at crude oil, for example, you know, or gold. And it's so volatile, and sometimes, and you get these price whips and moves. It doesn't make too much sense. S&P is kind of in the middle somewhere. All right, guys. Well, so looking for now, this would be a bit of a pullback here. So we're looking for, let's see if we can see our buyers come in now again here, or if sellers are going to push it through into this lower liquidity. Okay, so here we go. this is where we're looking for those buyers to come in up above here. Okay. And look at our order book and, and the reaction. We're not getting anything close to that. We're getting the opposite scenario. Okay, so we're trading into this area here. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, so this is the pullback we were looking for earlier. Okay, and let's mark this up. And looking for some support in here, and we do see some support in here. Okay, now we're looking for the buyers to come in. Okay, we got our support. Now we're looking for the buyers to come in at this 19.25. There they are, and here's the lift. Okay, so back up to the top here. 20.5 is what we're looking for. Okay, and then that would be a place to consider some risk management. And now these are small moves in here, guys, but they don't have to be. This is one of the things that we do in here. We go through these small moves. So this was where you would have taken some off in here at 20. If you could have, you might not have gotten filled there. Not a whole lot of orders up there transacting. Anyway, these concepts, and we just do these in real time as many times over as we can so that you get the training. That's the reason. Okay? Then you can apply it to any time frame. Right? So for example, on this time frame here, look at this bid. Amazing bid. Okay, so on this time frame then, is this going to turn into a reversal? You know, it's starting to we're starting to see kind of a turnaround. Do we see the turnaround in volume here? Let's clear all our drawings here. Okay, do we see the turnaround in volume in here? Not yet. Okay, starting to see some buyers come in, and they're going to build this top edge here. We look for it to break. Okay, and then the next swing would be here. This 20, 21 and 3/4, and then also this area up here, 22 and 3/4. Okay, here's our buyers. Here's our break. This bid is super strong. Okay, we noted that earlier. And they're bidding up in these areas in here. Mean reversion is a little different than a reversal, Rob. A mean reversion, the definition would be looking for a move back into some sort of average, right? So now that might be your point of control. It might be your VWAP. It could be a moving average. Maybe it's a volume cluster. But you're looking at some sort of average or value area, and you're looking for a price to go back and retest that area because it is not accepting outside of where it auctioned. So if that's the case and there's no one willing to either pull that market up or break it down, then you'll get people trading those outside edges back into some sort of mean. Okay, how you define that mean is up to you. Most people use point of control, VWAP, as an example. Right, and what we've been talking about is on some of these pullbacks in here is precisely the same thing. It would be like back up to here, right? And these transactions, and what we're noting in here are these transactions in here, right? So in terms of a mean reversion, you could also say it could be up here. Okay? And there's a cluster here. There's a high volume node here. Okay? And the point of control is way up here though. Now let's turn on the point of control. There it is up here, 32. Hey, maybe on their higher time frame, maybe that's what you're looking for. Okay, way up here, right? Is there any sort of other developing clusters in here that makes sense? Well, it's right where it is right now. This is the next level of value right now. Maybe that for the day it turns into the high volume node. Maybe you get the point of control moves down here to a new cluster. Okay, so a lot of things to consider. The same concept though, Rob, and this is why we go over this again and again. Understand the concepts. Don't worry about the lines. They're just lines on a chart. Okay, so understand the concepts though, that this is a cluster. This was a previous value area before it broke down. You're looking for, if you get buyers in here, you would look for a retest back to this area here. Reversals are totally different. You're looking for price to go one way, some back and forth, and then price to go another way. Okay, and this is more in line with something like Wyckoff talking about your accumulation phase followed by markup, followed by distribution, which could be another accumulation and maybe continuation, but you know, the traditional way is accumulation, markup, distribution, markdown, right? Okay, so we're trading into a pretty strong bid down here. Some of it pulled, some of it transacted here. Okay, these guys pulled in here, and these guys transacted here at 18.5. Okay, so we're getting our sellers again. They're coming back in, looking very poised to trade into this high liquidity in here. I'm shocked that it's not gonna, the sellers didn't hit it. Okay, well, this is our pullback here. Let's see if they come in again. Okay, looking for sellers right here at 18. Okay, we're looking for exhaustion on the buy side here. Looking for our sellers here at 18. There they are. Okay, sellers. Now there it is at auctions again. They should be able to dump it right into 16.5. Okay, let's look at the auction down here. We have an iceberg absorbing, only 3. So right in front of that high liquidity though. Okay, looks like there we go. There's our sellers. Okay. Okay, still sell side here. Just got to pull back. Okay, now we got to get our sellers again. Let's see if they can move it. And where might they move it to? Well, we're looking for, I guess, through this liquidity down to 15, maybe even 12. There we go. There's 15. Okay, let's see if we can get a pullback right back to this cluster in here, our 16 level. Okay, there's our pullback. All right, now we're looking to see if we get more sellers here. Okay, we didn't. We see buyers come in. Okay, so this is a shift and a change right in here. Okay, this is a potential trap volume in here, and now we're looking for a squeeze to the upside, and then we're looking for a move back up to swing up here at 18.5 or 19. Okay, looking for support here, and I'm not seeing it. Okay, support here at 16. Okay, very little selling though. Starting to get a bit of buying. Okay, all right, more sellers here. Let's take a look at this order book here too. Hard read at the moment. We're seeing some support in here and some buyers. Maybe a bit of back and forth here for now. Okay. Let's see if buyers are interested in this liquidity. It doesn't look like they are. Interesting. They pulled. All right, sellers, you've got it now. Let's see it. Okay, looking for continuation now. We're below our area here that we just marked up. Buyers did not take control above it. Okay, looking for our sellers. There they are. Okay, and then looking for our continuation move. Let's see if we can get it down to maybe 12. They pull back immediately. Okay, double bottom here for low of the day. Let's take our line here and move it across. Okay, so buyers above it or sellers below it. Here comes some sellers. Not enough yet. Let's look at the book. Bid is showing some interest, and the offer is up here at 17.5. Okay, there's our sellers. Okay, sellers, let's see you pull it away now. Hit the bid and go into lower lows for the day. We have one iceberg down here, still waiting. Just got filled here. Okay, where are the sellers? There they are. And let's see you move it here, sellers. Okay, there we go into 14. Liquidity here, 14.5. More on the offer. More on the offer. Sellers. And let's see them sweep the book. There they go. There's our sweep. Okay. So still looking for our 12. Any other questions, guys? Jack, you've been a monster in here. Excellent. Great job. Alois is usually he's also doing a great job. Every day, Alois nails it in here. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Ron, you want to go through some market pulse stuff? Sure, we can do that. There's our pullback, guys. All right, so looking still for, it's getting interesting. It's getting a little dicier in here. You look at the bid and the offer, but still looking for sellers here. Still sell side. They're still in control. but we're getting, you know, two-way auction now more than before. There we go. There's our 12. Okay, let's zoom out. Let's get our bigger picture approach here. Got 12 hit, 10 or 8 down here, this liquidity, and then obviously the figure down here. You can see these guys have been lined up all day long. That's very typical. 4,800 or just in front of it, and then some below it here as well. Okay, so now your longer time frame, that's your target. Okay, we are now, you know, clearly in a markdown phase here, and looking for that continuation. Now, that's the higher time frame. But you know, many things happen throughout that time frame, and if we just covered that, then it would take forever to go through anything of meaning here in the all markets room. Right, so that's why we go through these many small moves in here and understand it, and then you can apply it to your higher time frame. Okay, your higher time frame would be like, yeah, you know, you're in here, your sell side, maybe your stop is back up here, you know, above or maybe around you know, 23 or something like that. This area up here, safe and sound, right? And still looking for sellers to mark it down into these areas of low liquidity. Okay, beautiful. There's our move into 8. Okay, now this is something to note in here, and I want to bring this up, Rob, for not just Rob, Stephen, and others in here, but look how the markdown phase in here. This is something really important, and why we went through in the Learning Center the continuation move. It's so much easier. A momentum move, a continuation move. Once you're in that markdown phase, it continues. Now, there's always pullbacks. It's not always, you know, so simple, but it is much easier. And you can see that in many smaller time frames, though, you know, we saw many different things happen in here. Potential reversals, they failed, you know, or other times there were small time frame reversals that did work. But on a very small time frame. But once we start to understand some of the market mechanics in here, what makes these markets work and how they move, then you can apply it to your higher time frames as well. Rob, regarding your frustration from a new account, it still sounds like, you know, you don't have a higher probability setup, studied, back tested, have some numbers around it. And then, yeah, it's going to be kind of frustrating. And then once you do have this, and yeah, Alois, it's not the best time to start. You know, timing is it's all about timing in trading. Okay, so you know, think about that, and when do you want to you know, get involved into the markets, right? Because as Alois is saying here, it's you know, the timing is essential, or it's not the best time to start. But once my point here on a very small time frame is, like, you know, once you get into that markdown phase or markup phase, you can stick with it. Even here, we've just gotten a pullback to this area in here, right to that liquidity here. Okay, now it's pretty good buying in here. Okay, maybe this does turn into a reversal. Okay, maybe. Okay, we don't know yet. It's still sell side here, but we see quite a bit of buying coming in. All right, so what we're looking for is at these edges here and down here. and we kind of expect a lot to happen in between here at the moment. Yeah, Yoka, this is very, very typical on usually fading the trend, and it works against you, and it's hard, and then you don't get a lot of points. We cover it all the time in here. So we've been covering it throughout this move in here on these pullbacks, and that's how to handle it. Okay, or a tip, a suggestion to take a look into. Okay, it's a starting that process. Okay, so look at this pullback into this cluster here. All right, so for example, like buyers in this time frame are in control. Okay, like there's actually, it's kind of back and forth in here. There's a lot of sellers in here, but look at the pullback to here, and is it, in this cluster in here and this liquidity here. Okay, and you see buyers come back in, and I would look for them to trade right back up to this swing and maybe to the top of the range here. Okay, so we got basically the pullback, or the buyers did support it, and they moved it just up to here though. That was it. Okay, now on the higher time frame, this is what to look for, or a bit higher time frame. Okay, can we get below that cluster on some sell volume? Okay, look at the order flow in the book to help us as well. What's the reaction to the liquidity? So here come our sellers. Now let's see that they should hit the bid pretty hard here, down to here, okay, down to 06. Okay, sellers have gotten below this area here. Okay, now how did they get below it here? Okay, this is where there's different shades in here. This is not a whole lot of selling. Okay, so we really, there's some good selling right there. Okay, so now did that selling move the market? Well, look at this. What did it just trade into? A huge iceberg that just got filled, actually fully executed for 235. Yeah, I thought it was going to be like 1,000, but only 235. Okay, so our sellers here were being absorbed by this iceberg until there's just more selling pressure. Okay, look at buyers trying to get back up above this little area here, this little pivot at 08. This area here, let's just mark this up even better. Right, so it's this liquidity here, right? That's what we're looking for in our zone here. Okay, liquidity on the bid again here as well. Okay, they got filled. We see the stop run through it, and then the buyers come back in and they support it here. Okay, now are they supporting it here? Boy, they're fighting it. They're trying, but we see sellers below it. Okay, so this is the battle we want to watch here. Okay, and who's going to win it here? Here come the sellers now. Right, so sellers, can they hit down to here at 06 3/4? Yep, now they should, and they're auctioning here, should be able to hit it down to 04 or 05 here. 5. Okay, iceberg is in the way here, 186 transacted already. Okay, there's our pullback to this cluster here. And let's see now, do we get sellers come back in again? And we're looking for sellers to move it back down to 6 and then maybe through it to 05 here. All right, sellers, let's see it again down here at 07. Or there they go. Okay, so let's see them hit it now into 05. They got to get through that iceberg. We don't know how much. There they go. Okay, how much was behind that? We don't know until it transacts. So another 235. Now, that's uncanny. It's most likely the same guy over here. Another 2 for 235. Same player. Okay, iceberg here, iceberg down here. Okay, our 05 has been hit, and look at the reaction out of 05 liquidity. Guys, you just can't make this stuff up. Right? So now we know someone is accumulating. So now the question is, are we looking now for this the end of the markdown phase and the accumulation phase starting to begin? Okay, understood. Beautiful. Yeah, bigger flag pattern in here. Let's take a look here from slowdown. And this is from the Learning Center, as he mentions. Guys, I'll show you where that is, but here's our consolidation area here, right? Our steep move in here. Okay, the measured move as well. Okay, and then looking for another measured move after the pullback here. Now, on the pullback in here, minor pullback, less than 50%. That clearly makes it. Okay, and then the relative volume in here. Okay, there was quite a bit of buying in here, but if you look at on the bigger picture here now, it doesn't look so much in here. Okay, and then we're looking for our sellers to curl back in here. This looks a little dicey to me, to be honest. All of that high liquidity in here. Now we saw that, and we were actually, this webinar started, we were looking for that move higher in here. Oh God, I can't remember where it was. No, maybe it was in here. But the potential reversal. Nope. We see the a different kind of variation of it in here. High liquidity up on the bid here. Usually we want to see it on the offer in here, and we want to see it transact, and then we want to see the sellers come in and then take it down. So a different variation on it. And let me show you that new tool. We just updated it. So we have this tool, the setups checklist. And exactly what they did. But it was just updated recently. Okay, so we can look for these things. You can grade them on the way down in this flag pattern. Okay, here we go again, guys. So we're looking, our markdown phase continues. Okay, we got the pullback to that cluster. Okay, that we drew that across in here, and then we see the selling coming in. Okay, not making this stuff up. We're still looking for the move into 4,800. Sellers still moving the market. Now, that said, you know, typically these around the figures, the big figures in here, there's kind of a lot of back and forth. And a lot of times you'll see it come back up and test like high liquidity way up here at 12 or so, and then finally you know, kind of shake everybody out and get everyone going short in here looking, oh, of course it's going to go into 4,800. And then it doesn't, they get trapped, and then finally it does. But we see it many times right before hitting these big figures. Okay, so let's look for it again here. This is the European close right now, and we'll look for it, looking for our buyers right in here around this 05 area here. Okay, our clusters, again, look at the cluster here. Just pull it across. Okay, 04, 05 there. Okay, buyers above it, and we look for the next one up to here, 08. Here come our buyers. All right, buyers, let's see if we can break this on some pretty strong buy volume. There we go. Now buyers should be able to lift it right back up to 08. That's our next cluster, okay, that we marked up, a big one, an important one up here at 08. Let me show you also the Learning Center and what slowdown is talking about in here. Go to bookmap.com and just click on education up here. And you'll see the strategies and setups course in here. We'll be adding more to it, but right now we have a flag continuation pattern. And we start off with kind of continuation patterns in general, okay, talking about them. And then we go through a very simple one. This is a flag, and we go through it in a diagram form, then what it looks like in Bookmap, how to identify it in Bookmap. Okay, so for example, start to mark it up like here, right? This is what it looks like in Bookmap. And then we talk about the execution here, and we start to go through the checklist. That checklist here is the same as the checklist here, right? So you can use this tool to your advantage and go through this checklist and grade it as you go through it. How was the trap traders and consolidation area here? That steep move, how was it? Was it on strong relative volume, etc.? Grade it. You're looking for an 8 or above. And then you've got something for your setup. Rob, that's actually something I forgot to mention yesterday. As you were going through in that Bookmap Academy meeting, as you were going through your looking for the setup, the flag pattern setup, use your checklist. Okay, go through that. That should be burned into your mind. Right. So, for example, if we take a look at, I just can't think of a better example of looking at of slowdowns content here. Every single time he goes through and shows his now he's going through some really interesting trade management in here as well, and every time he's looking for his setup, he has this in mind here. That's how powerful it is. This is what's in mind. This is what's unfolding in the market, and he's looking for something like that to unfold. And then he knows where to get in. Here's his the peak above a swing, and then he sees the sellers starting to come in here. Let's just open this in the browser, see it better. And then he's looking for the sellers starting to come in here. That's his entry. Here's his short here. And then possible target down here at the end of the range, okay, bottom of the range here, and then again, like it looks like you can see that slowdown now has taken us much further. Okay, so he's adding in now, right? So in his evolution as a trader, he was first looking for order flow phenomena and becoming focused. It turned into his spring, his Wyckoff spring pattern, and then now he's actually looking for managing this with multiple targets. Okay, scaling in, scaling out. Beautiful evolution. It's just beautiful stuff. Okay, one step at a time. Get to the point where you look for something high probability, and then get really good at it. And look for it again and again. It should be burned into your mind in the diagram what you're looking for. Okay, so our buyers that came back in here never made it back up here, so this is basically a pullback. Okay, sellers back in and still looking for them to hit into 4,800 here. Okay, so this is all we got out of it. Usually it's quite a bit bigger pullback, you know, up to 12 or so, something like that. And then that still may unfold here. We may see the buyers come back in here, okay, and retest back up to here, or this 08 area here. All right, let me see if there's any more questions in YouTube. And then I wanted to cover this again. So guys, I encourage you. I think this is a pretty good deal. 30% off an annual subscription for your New Year's. Align this with your New Year's resolutions, and then you know, become a profitable trader in 2024, or meet a specific profit goal or threshold. Get the deal, get the 30% off the annual, be a part and partake in the Bookmap Junior Academy. And then if you graduate to the Bookmap Academy, that annual deal here, we will take the remainder of it. You'll get Bookmap for free in the Bookmap Academy. We'll take the remainder of that deal, and then you can use it for Bookmap add-ons, or you know, and just prorate it and use it for those. Okay, so it's a great deal. It's basically a win-win. I don't understand why, if you want to dedicate the time to becoming a more professional trader and meet some of your goals, maybe for 2024, then this is a good opportunity. Okay, we will coach you in the Bookmap Academy. We'll give you some mentorship in here, and then you've got Bookmap for the year already, and then you got the possibility to make it to Bookmap Academy and get the rest back for other add-ons. Right, so we'll put that link into the chat for you once again, and hold on just a minute. Okay, here you go. That is the link to use, and then also in Discord for you guys. There you go. Yeah, thanks, Dan. All right. Oh shoot, that didn't come out too well in. Okay, so sorry, I disregard the link I put in there. That didn't work. Try this again. Dan has the correct link. Shoot, why didn't that? It broke. Okay, try it again. Huh. Dan, can you try that one more time in there? I don't know why my link is not working. Thank you, sir. Excellent. All right, guys. Well, good session. Went through a lot of different things. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you join the Academy and take advantage of that deal. And then we'll see you back in here. We're going to do weekly Academy meetings to coach and go through your trade reviews of your content on Thursday afternoons at market close. Okay, so yeah, thanks everybody. It was a great year, and look forward to quite a bit more in 2024. Have a good new year. Take care. Bye bye.